Good evening, everyone. I wanted to do a quick live stream before I go to bed. It's I have to get this out, and it's not going to be as organized as usual because I haven't had time to prepare it, but I need to get this out to everybody just so you see where my line of thinking is going. So if you've been paying attention to my channel over the past couple days, you see that I've done a couple videos. I did one about Sessions and the OIG. I did another one about the Mueller, the Mueller, Trump, Russia, Seth Rich craziness that's been going on. And I've kind of been throwing it around on Twitter a lot for people to see, which especially, let me do that right now, really quickly. Because I think this is important, and I'm going to go through it for you guys real quick, literally quick. I don't want to stay on here too long and hog up your whole night. So this is the deal. I did the piece about Selig and let me just get myself settled here. I did the piece about Selig and Jack Berkman and how Rick Gates is involved with Mueller and the plea deals and how his attorney stepped down, and all of that noise that went on over the past couple of months. Quick refresher for you guys. Basically what happened is, can you guys hear me? Let me make sure you can hear me first. Say yes. Dead air, dead air. Okay. I'm just going to assume you guys can hear me. Let me type. Okay, good. Someone said no sound and it freaked me out. Okay. So, Jack Berkman was the attorney for Seth Rich's family way back in the day when this first happened, who was kind of ousted when there was controversy with Rod Wheeler, and the crisis fixer came in for the DNC to take over and kind of steer this investigation. Jack Berkman is the one who came out and said that Seth Rich discovered evidence that the Russians hacked the DNC servers. And so Putin ordered a hit on Seth Rich, which is utter nonsense. We know through all of our detailed research that we've done together that Guccifer 2 was a farce, that CrowdStrike was in charge of the servers. Sarah Carter was talking about CrowdStrike today. Sarah Carter was mentioning that CrowdStrike never allowed anyone to look over these servers. And I've been talking about this for a really long time. I did my Guccifer 2 recap video a little over a month ago because I knew this would be coming back around again, and here we are. Here we are. So basically, Berkman says that the Russians wanted to kill Seth. He does the death reenactment. He's the one who pays for that study, the forensic study that determines that Seth Rich was killed by a serial killer, all kinds of weirdness. He then goes on to have a fundraiser for the legal fees of Rick Gates, who's under indictment by Robert Mueller in his investigation. And he has this fundraiser, and Gates gets in trouble for appearing via video recording at this fundraiser a little while, and that ties him to the Mueller investigation through Selig. Selig is Jack Berkman's PR guy from way back in the beginning of Seth Rich. Coincidentally, Rick Gates also hires Glenn Selig as his PR guy when he gets indicted that day. So fast forward to several months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, Jack Berkman gets attacked in his driveway by somebody in a black SUV. He reports it. Glenn Selig does a press release on it. It's very weird. Why is Jack Berkman getting attacked by someone in a black SUV? Very strange. So I immediately saw that, and that's what made me start looking into all this other stuff that made me find that Selig was the PR guy for both of them. So then 10 days later, Selig goes overseas to Afghanistan, and Selig is killed in a terrorist attack. Right around the same time that Selig is killed in a terrorist attack, Rick Gates under indictment by Robert Mueller fires his attorney, or his attorney stepped down under seal, and he hires a new attorney who also happened to be the attorney who engineered the plea arrangement for Dennis Hastert, which is an aside, I'm sure, but just he's a political, he's a high profile guy. Now remember, Gates and Manafort are the ones who are having the conversations with Papadopoulos about meeting with Russians. Gates and Manafort are the ones who, quote, get the Republican National Committee, this is a farce, to change their opinion on the Ukraine. Okay? All right. So then I brought in this article that came out the other day. Mueller to charge Russians who hacked Democratic Party and Clinton campaign. And I did a very long video about this, where I also pointed out that on the same day that this article came out, another article came out about the Seth Rich murder by that admiral. Kim.com came back out and said, well, I've tried to give all my stuff to Mueller too, and he wouldn't take my stuff. He wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't talk to my attorneys. What was that? Right? So that gets refreshed. And today we get this article. 14,500 words in the New Yorker, written by a journalist who used to work at the Wall Street Journal. It's by Jane Mayer, entitled Christopher Steele, the man behind the Trump dossier. And inside of this article are a lot of little gems, so many little gems, and so many falsities and so many propaganda-like statements, as a matter of fact, that I'm going to dedicate 2 videos to dissecting this 14,000 word piece. So in here, there are a few very interesting things, and we're going to get on with it here. First we have the fact that Glenn Simpson actually went to Mark Elias and asked him to fund the rest of the dossier research, which is new. And we have this. Refresh if you, hold on, I'm going to stop because people are saying they can't hear me. On July 26, 2016, after WikiLeaks disseminated the DNC emails, Steele filed yet another memo, this time claiming that the Kremlin was behind the hacking. Now, we've never seen this memo. We've never seen this memo, which was part of a Russian cyber war against Hillary Clinton's campaign. Many of the details seemed far-fetched. Steele sources claimed that the digital attack involved agents, quote, within the Democratic Party structure itself, as well as Russian, I'm not going to say that word, and associated offensive cyber operators within the Democratic Party structure itself. Yeah, I see that people are messing with me. Horrible. Horrible. Very mean. Very mean. This is the very first time that anybody has publicly admitted that there was a leak from within the DNC, within the Democratic Party. The very first time they've ever admitted publicly that there was a chance that this stuff could have come from within the Democratic Party. That's first. Second, this is big. This is big, guys. This is big. Very big. Then, this paragraph. In Russia, there were rumors of a more primitive kind of justice taking place. During Glenn Simpson's testimony to the Senate Judiciary Committee, his lawyer asserted that somebody's already been killed as a result of the publication of this dossier. Who that could have been is the subject of much media speculation. One possibility has been mentioned is Oleg Eravinkin, a former SFV officer, FSB, and top aide to Igor Sechin, the Rosneft president. On December 26, 2016, he was found dead in his car. No official cause of death has been cited. No evidence has emerged that Eravinkin was a Steele source, and in fact, Special Counsel Mueller is believed to be investigating a different death that is possibly related to the dossier. Well, who could it be? So he's about to charge Russians with hacking into the DNC server. He's apparently investigating a murder. We have the New Yorker saying that that Christopher Steele has written in a dossier page that we have not seen yet that there was an internal leak at the DNC that helped to leak the DNC emails. That's the first time that's ever been said anywhere. And then a good friend of mine, you know who you are, sent me this article. This is a mobile version, but it's from August 8th of 2017 by Alicia Powell for WND. Only a few days after a bombshell hit the Seth Rich murder investigation in D.C., with the recording of Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative journalist Seymour Hersh pointing out that WikiLeaks stopped releasing hacked DNC emails when Rich died. A private investigator is asking Special FBI counsel Robert Mueller to look at the circumstances. Rich's murder in 2016 has never been solved. On Tuesday, lobbyist and lawyer, are you ready? Jack Berkman sent a letter to Mueller, who was appointed to review the allegations against Trump's campaign in 2016 of collusion with Russia, urging him to expand his work. Rich, Berkman explained, could be the missing link. As director of the Profiling Project, the independent nonpartisan group investigating the murder of Seth Rich, I'm formally asking that the special counsel widen its investigation to include this case, Berkman wrote. The murder of Seth Rich may be the missing link that connects otherwise incongruent events relating to Russia collusion in the 2016 presidential election. WikiLeaks' Julian Assange appeared to suggest that Rich was one of his sources. Thank you for the super chats, guys. You're awesome. Wheeler alleges that several players concocted a false narrative and tried to spread fake news about the murder, and Wheeler claimed Trump knew of these false statements and tried to spread false news. Now, this can tie back into so many different things. This can tie back into Dana Rohrabacher, who was mentioned inside of the Navy Admiral's article on Seth Rich, going over to speak with Julian Assange and coming back, the connections to Rand Paul that I pulled in, the connections with, there's so many different things. All I'm trying to say is that it's all coming together. And let me tell you something else, okay? This article from the New Yorker was pushed out in rapid fire. And let me tell you why I know that. Because there was an editing mistake. Here it is. Pay attention here, okay? In late summer, Fusion set up a series of meetings at the Tabard Inn in Washington between Steele and a handful of national security reporters. The encounters were surely sanctioned in some way by Fusion's client, the Clinton campaign. Listen to this sentence. The sessions were off the record, but because Steele has since disclosed having participated in them, I can confirm that I attended one of them. What? Let me tell you something. This sentence right here, I can confirm that I attended one of them, is Christopher Steele interjecting notes into this piece before it was published, and the author forgot to remove it. The sessions were off the record, but because Steele has since disclosed having participating in them, and then he puts in a note, I can confirm that I attended one of them. Whoops. Now, someone's asking how legit is the author. I will say this. This author also worked for the Wall Street Journal back in the day. I haven't gotten as far as to research whether or not she worked with Glenn Simpson. I will tell you that this piece has a 80% truth, 20% falsity propaganda to it. There is a bunch of new information that's coming out in this piece that you would never have seen if you didn't read all the way through this thing to the very bottom. It's 14,000 words. This is not just a, quick look at it. It's still going. It's still going. So I put credibility in this because it would not have come out in this way. This is not all lies. Definitely not. And for her to make statements about the Mueller investigation like that and say she reached out to Mueller for comment and they wouldn't comment, which is right here. And this, many of the details seemed far-fetched. Steele's sources claim that the digital attack involved agents within the Democratic Party structure itself. That's a really good way to start seeding friendly readers to the New Yorker that there may have been a leak. No? That's all I'm saying. So Berkman goes to Mueller and says, investigate Seth Rich. Berkman is holding water for whoever's narrative is that Russia figured out that Seth Rich knew that they hacked the election or hacked the servers. Doesn't make any sense. Brazil has come out and said that those servers are gone. BuzzFeed is suing for them. Listen. Is there a chance? I'm just asking. Is there a chance that Mueller is investigating the death of Seth Rich? The first public release, mark the date, the first ever public mention anywhere on the left or establishment deep state media that there could have been a leak from within the DNC happened today on March 5th, 2018. That's all I got to say. My slang talk for the day. Speechless. There's a very good chance that Mueller is investigating. There's two different possibilities. Mueller is investigating the death of Seth Rich and is going to say, oh my gosh, yes, he found out that the Russians hacked the server, so they killed him and put an end to it right then and there. Or he's going to find out who really killed Seth Rich. And the way this was hastily pushed out, it makes me feel like they're trying to get in front of something that will be coming within the next couple days, a week. Honestly. So that's it. If you appreciate the work I do and you'd like to become a patron, I would be honored to have you. You can find me on Patreon at www.patreon.com/TracyBeans with a Z. You can also find my PayPal address in the description box below. Share this video with your friends. I'd like to get your opinions on it. And I'll be continuing to delve into this article because let me tell you, I'll link it in the description box for you guys to read. It is something else. I spent like the entire day reading this. Have a fantastic evening, guys. Get some good sleep. We've got a lot of work to do in the coming days. Love you guys, and I will talk to you soon.